Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Meb here. I am back. I am back for good this time. No bullshit, no lies, no nothing. I'm here for good, guys. And I'm here to bring you a new series that I'm starting up. It's called Welcome to the C.O.G. This is just going to be an introduction video. I'm not going to really talk about the gameplay and everything like that. But basically, Welcome to the C.O.G. is going to be an ongoing series for Gears of War Judgment and Gears of War 3 and any other Gears of War games that I might play. I don't know. I might play Gears of War 1 and Gears of War 2 later on down the line, just to show you some examples of how Gears of War works and everything like that. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this was multiple reasons, though. The main reason that I wanted to do this was that a lot of games nowadays, they get a lot of exposure. Like Call of Duty has probably the most exposure out of any multiplayer game that is being played right now. Halo is getting a lot of exposure too. Any other games I could think of, like I guess you could say like fighting games would be like anything that's Capcom related, everybody plays. But you know, there's a couple of really great games that people play, but nobody ever covers. Like Skullgirls, for example, Dead or Alive. You know, those are the things I can think of off the top of my head. But also, one of those games that I like to talk about is Gears. Now, when Gears came out, Gears of War 1, it was a massive success. Because of one thing and one thing only. Not only did it have a great story, but the multiplayer was spot on. And the thing was that when the developers of the Gears of War franchise, the first game, they never intended to put multiplayer in the game. They just threw it in there just to say, hey, you know, it has multiplayer, so it's not going to really do that well or whatever, or just, you know, see how it works. And it did well. It was awesome. And people started making montage videos with sniper clips and things like that, doing triple kills, double kills, all that. And it was amazing. Then Gears of War 2 came out. People did not like the way the mechanics of the game were. They didn't like how the changes that were implemented into it. Personally, me, that was the first game that I've ever played with Gears of War 2, and I happen to like it, even though there was a lot of BS in the game. I loved the game. Now, when Gears of War 3 was announced or was being shown, people were getting excited because they said that they were bringing. It was like going to be like Gears of War 1 again and things like that. And then when it came out, it was like hit or miss. People were saying, "Oh, it was really good." Some people were saying, "Oh, it's whatever. It's the same shit or whatever." Personally, me, I like Gears 3. It was pretty goddamn good. And then to compensate for the differences in Gears 3, the developers made a I want to say like an alpha playlist, and the alpha playlist basically means like it's basically like Gears of War 1 with Gears of War 3 gameplay. That's basically how it is. And that satisfied the fans that love Gears of War 1 to play Gears of War 3. So, over time, you know, Gears of War 3 was supposed to be obviously the final game. And out of nowhere, you know, we hear about Gears of War Judgment. It's a prequel to the Gears of War franchise. Personally, me, I really don't like prequels. But, I mean, I'll play them here once in a while and things like that. Like God of War Ascension and things like that. But, you know, I just don't like prequels. Personally, I would like the story to move forward. I like to find out what happens because, you know, when you play a prequel or thing of that nature, you know, you already know the story. You know how it's going to, you know, I mean, you don't know how it's going to end, but you know what's going to happen. You know the character's going to live. You know, like, what character's going to live. You know what's going to happen. You know, so it's really no point. But when Gears of War Judgment was announced, I was really excited. I heard they were doing a lot of major changes to the multiplayer, which I will talk about in a later video. But like I said, this is just the introduction. I'm just giving you a brief summary of like basically the Gears of War history and things like that. But excuse me. But my first impressions of Gears of War Judgment, it is very, very different. Now, because it is different, doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it has to take some time to get used to, because if you're coming from Gears of War 1 to Gears of War 2, there's a major difference in gameplay and mechanics. If you're coming from Gears of War 2 to Gears of War 3, there's another gap of learning and understanding those mechanics. And once you understand those mechanics and those gameplays, then you'll become a good player. Now, the same thing for Gears of War 3 to Gears of War Judgment. There is a huge learning curve. I would say it's on par with like jumping from Gears 1. If you're like a hardcore veteran of Gears 1 and you're trying to learn Gears 2, that's kind of like the gap, because I mean, there is a major difference between that. If you play Gears 2 and jump to Gears 3, it's not that bad of a difference. I mean, I think you could basically, if you play a couple of good matches, you'll be I think you'll be all right. But from Gears of War Judgment to from Gears of War 3 to Gears of War Judgment, there is a significant difference. The way the character moves feels in Judgment, it feels a little bit more sluggish, feels a little bit more restricted. But on the flip side, that the hit detection of the game makes it better, because in Gears of War 3, the characters move really fast, and basically when you try to shoot them, your shot would be, you either miss it or you only slightly hit them, and it meant for a lot of BS. In this game, it feels like when you shoot somebody, you're shooting them on point, you're shooting them where they're at, and that's really it. But yeah, my first impression of Gears of War Judgment, it is a good game. It has a slight learning curve that has to be learned. But like I think it's like any other game, when it's a different iteration or a different part of the series, it just takes some time to learn it, and that's all. And I just think that people that are saying, oh, you ruined the Gears franchise and things like that, you can't. The game just came out. You're not gonna be the most amazing player in the world. You got to give it time, and that's all I just want to say about the subject. But for the final verdict, Gears of War Judgment is a good game. It does have a steep learning curve, but once you learn it, I'm sure people will be on it. This is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will be back for more Gears of War Judgment. Welcome to the C.O.G, guys. Peace.